We are live. Great team, we're live. Are you ready? Welcome, everyone. If you are with us, please drop a comment. I would love to know who's joining us. So, I just wrote the Spotify playlist in the chat. Don't mind, friends. The Spotify playlist for today is called Opening, made by me. And I invite you all to grab a journal if you don't have one. Any kind of paper will do, any writing utensil. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna do something a little different today. So thank you for holding this space for me to guide you through various different things. Hey Kara, hey Emma, nice to have you on with us, Emma. We'll get started in about 2 minutes, so I'll give you a moment to get the Spotify playlist set up if you'd like to, and to grab a journal and a pen. So welcome, those of you who are just joining us. I dropped the Spotify playlist in the chat and asked you to humbly and kindly grab a journal or piece of paper, some sort of writing utensil. And I will add to that, I'm going to ask that you put your phone on silent or just swipe down, click do not disturb, whatever you have to do so that this time is your own. And we're going to try and eliminate those distractions that might try to get us distracted. So take a moment, do what you need to do in your space, and then come on down to the mat when you're ready. Alright, so we're going to get started in a moment. I'd invite you all to just grab a comfortable seat on your mat, whether you're sitting on your heels or if you want to sit cross-legged. Just going to start by breathing here together just to kind of get that collective energy centered and bring you back to this moment. Reach your arms all the way up. Bring your hands down to your heart center. Greet yourself. Namaste. Welcome to the next hour that you've dedicated to yourself and your practice. Congratulations. You have prioritized yourself, and I commend you for that. Allowing your hands to fall to the backs of the knees. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth, let it go. Breathe in, fill the belly. exhale. As we begin our practice together, I want to share with you my general theme for today's class. I invite you to greet this moment with integrity, with a sense of purity, knowing that this moment is complete, that there's nothing missing from it. Can you show up here in your wholeness, in your fullness, and take the moment as it comes? Noticing with each breath how you feel. Taking note of any resistance that shows up. Just allow yourself to be here now. Make the most of this moment. The only one we got. Bring both hands onto your heart. Feeling your prana, the life force, moving through you. Notice your heartbeat. What a miracle. Smile to yourself, reminding your being of all that you are. What you are in this moment is all that you need. Go ahead and wrap your arms all the way around and give yourself a hug. Allow your chin to fall to your chest. Tucking in to hug someone that you love dearly. Allow that someone to be yourself. Accepting your whole self as you are right now in this moment. Allowing any illusions, ideals, expectations to fall away. Meeting yourself boldly and authentically in this moment. Show yourself love. Awesome. We're going to let the hands fall down back to the tops of the knees. Keeping the eyes closed. Imagine the breath drawing up from the base of the spine all the way to the top of your chest. Exhale, releasing it. Let it roll down to the base of your spine. As you do this, I want to give you a quick little overview of the Yamas and Niyamas, where we're at in our series. Just to recap, we last week finished studying the Yamas, which are the directions, the principles that guide us when we go off course, the teachings that remind us how to be an adult in this world. Through nonviolence, through truthfulness, non-stealing, non-excess, and non-possessiveness, we are reminded what it takes to be a good person in this world. Which brings us to the Niyamas, the observances, teaching us how to be an adult with ourselves, something I must admit I'm still working on. Purity, contentment, self-discipline, self-study, and surrender remind us how to be with ourselves in this world. Today we look at purity, known as socha, which translates not only into the purification of our bodies, purity of our thoughts and our words, but additionally the purity that it takes to meet every moment with integrity. We'll also begin looking at santosha, contentment, the paradox of not seeking. Knowing that things are neutral, and when we detach ourselves from our preferences, we take the path of least resistance. Santosha, contentment, reminds us to live our lives overflowing with gratitude, to protect ourselves from pettiness, and keep us in a state of abundance. Finally, we'll look at tapas, which translates to self-discipline, and can be understood as the determined effort that it takes to become a person of character and strength. In times of challenge and discomfort, can we hold on until we are blessed by our struggle? It takes a willingness to be both burned and blessed. The discipline of tapas, or contentment, will mold us into someone of great depth and profoundness if we let it. Can we stand in the heat of being dismantled and changed forever by the fire? Can we prepare ourselves daily through our practice, our staying in power, and our choices? Can we stay in the burning with integrity? Can we hold on for the blessing? And we're going to start to move here. Lift your arms all the way up to the sky. Drop the right hand to the left knee, twisting towards the back of your mat. Rising up nice and tall through your spine, through your core. Allowing yourself to unwind through the center, releasing that tension, negative energy that you may be holding onto. Reach the arms up and drop them down to the other side. Coming back to center, interlacing the hands, and just starting to roll out through the wrists. We're going to take a moment here to give ourselves a little massage through the forearms and through the wrists, maybe circling the wrists as you do. Just having this intentional sense of touch. Imagine pouring love out of your palms into your own skin. Accepting yourself exactly as you are. Loving this version of yourself. Showing up in this moment purely and with integrity. Not seeking something else from this moment, just allowing it to be what it is. Awesome. Bringing your hands back to center, bowing down to yourself. We're going to go ahead and move into our tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under wrists. That was not what I meant to say. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Just starting to move. If you're listening to the music, you can go with the beat. If you're not, just going with the flow of your own body, finding whatever sense of movement, whatever flow you're falling into today. Embrace it. Awesome. I'm going to tuck the toes under and just start to move forward and back from your tabletop into a brief child's pose with the toes tucked and then propelling yourself back forward. You can sync the movement with the breath. Do however feels right. Being gentle with yourself. Good. Next time you send your weight forward, start to press into the heels and send the hips up and back, downward dog. Pedal it out. Breathing intentionally in order to send away any impurities, anything that no longer serves you. Awesome. Looking towards the top of your mat, you can step or hop, bring your feet towards your hands. Hang out here in your forward fold, allowing your body to just angle. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale, release. Starting to bend generously into the knees and circle the arms, no rush, all the way up to the top. Little back bend when you get there. Exhale, hands to heart. Great job, you guys. From here, stepping your left, this is my left, all the way back, coming into your crescent lunge. Allowing your hips to sink down. Awesome. We're going to spiral the back foot down, coming into our warrior two. So front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Arms come out into the T shape that you can sink into. Awesome. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up, lift the front toes, and turn them so all 10 toes are facing the long edge of your mat. Inhale the arms up and fold forward, wide-legged forward fold. Awesome. Sway side to side. Do what feels good. We're going to come halfway up, hands on your shins, flat back. Exhale, lower down. Bending through those knees, get nice and low as you can, and then rolling back up, hands come up overhead. Coming into our warrior two on the other side, so your toes are facing the back of your mat, and just sinking in here. Get nice and low. We're going to pivot now on the back toes, coming into our crescent lunge to face the back of the room. Options with the hands, as always, you can go on your hips, straight up, or hands at heart center. Awesome. We're going to come back into our warrior two now, sinking the hips down. And we're going to do the same flow to go back towards the front of the mat, However, this time we're going to add a peaceful warrior here. So arching away from your toes, from your pointed toes, sinking down. Find your strength, find your breath. Meet this moment as it is, as you are. Go ahead and come forward, elbow to knee. Other arm extends up and overhead, extended side angle. Good, and as you come back up with the arms, pick up the front toes, or I should say the back toes. So you're coming into your wide-legged forward fold once again. Come on down. Pausing here, nurturing yourself. Bending those knees nice and deep. Rolling all the way up through center. Toes come to face towards the front, warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Drop that back hand down. Heart is open. Go ahead and lower the front elbow to the knee. Extended side angle. Stay here in this moment. Bring back the mind if it has wandered. Remind yourself why you showed up here today. Go ahead and cycle the arms back into our warrior two. We're going to pivot on that back foot, coming into our crescent lunge. All 10 toes facing the top of the mat. Sink the hips down. Awesome. Stepping forward, mountain pose at the top of the mat. We're just going to take this opportunity to do some free flow movement. Just kind of letting your arms dangle, your feet move, maybe shaking anything out, maybe jumping a little bit. I don't want to be too prescriptive, but just doing whatever silly movements your body needs or you don't know it needs, and just kind of letting yourself move that energy through you. Smiling if you feel silly, it's okay. Breathing however you need to. Maybe jumping a little side to side, flick the fingers, roll the wrists, do whatever. Good, we're going to come to standing at the top of the mat. Inhale and circle the arms up. Bring the hands down to your heart, placing both hands on your heart. I want to share with you that tomorrow is the new moon in Taurus, an earth sign representing grounding energy, a potent time for manifestation, and a great time to get out in nature, to walk barefoot on the grass, my favorite thing, to hug a tree and ask it to kindly take away your worries, to inhale deeply when you see a budding tree, flowers. Savor these moments of connection with nature and remind yourself of the divine energy that lives through it. Drop your hands down to your sides. Inhale, circle the arms up and dive down. Both hands ground. Step back into a plank position. You're going to transfer all the weight onto the right hand. Both feet knock over, left hand lifts, side plank. If this is too much, you can drop one knee down. We're not here for long. Stay with me. You got this. Awesome. Bringing that left hand down to touch the mat. And knocking over to the right. Right hand lifts. Sorry, knocking over to the left. Feeling nice and strong. You got this. Meet this moment as you are. Dropping the right hand down, coming onto both elbows, and back up to your hands. Now dropping down to your elbows and allowing the palms of your hands to come onto the mat. Dropping the hips, coming into our Sphinx pose. So ever so gently looking up towards the sky. Feeling that arch in the back. Heart is shining towards the sky. Welcoming this new lunar cycle. Knowing that tomorrow is the beginning of a 6-month cycle, but also a monthly cycle. The new moon is a time for slow movement, a time for divine feminine energy when the moon is at its darkest. A time for us to plant new seeds, to journal, to reflect and be patient. Not my strong suit. Alright, we're going to press back onto our forearms, shifting the hips back. Start to walk the hands in and sit the hips all the way back, child's pose. Counter pose to our Sphinx. We're just rolling out the back the other way. Awesome. We're going to roll forward into our hands and knees position. Tuck the toes under. Coming into our downward facing dog once again. We're going to look towards the top of our mat and jump the feet wider than the hands. Coming into our Malasana squat. Just have a pop-up on my face here. So coming into your Malasana squat, hold it here. Placing both hands back down on the mat and jumping back into your plank pose. We're going to take a side plank, left arm lifts. Option here to take the left foot up as well. Coming into a more challenging pose that really forces us to stay in the moment. Wherever you are, both feet lowered down, hand lowers, plank at center. We're going to come on over to the other side. Right hand reaches and potentially your right foot as well. Come on down, plank pose. We're going to come down onto the elbows. Back up onto the hands. Good. Coming onto the elbows, we're going to drop the hips back into our Sphinx pose. Breathe. Notice how you feel. Go ahead and lower your body all the way onto the mat. Allowing your hands to make a little pillow for your head. Bending the left knee. Reach back with the left hand. See if you can draw those toes in towards your body. Exhale. Good job, you guys. Releasing those toes. Coming back through center. Bending the right knee and reach back with the right hand. Being Being gentle with yourself. Reminding yourself that we can meet each moment with a beginner's mind. We can start over whenever we want. The cycles of the moon remind us that nothing is permanent, that everything changes. And we too must change with it. Releasing that foot. Come back to center. Hands press under your shoulders. Come on up and back into your downward facing dog once again. Looking towards the top of your mat. Step or hop. Come into our forward fold. You're going to come halfway out, flat back. Exhale, lower down. Bending the knees generously, start to circle the arms all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms come up. Forward fold, hands come down, step back into plank. Rolling over to the right side, left hand lifts. Option with the leg. Dropping the foot, drop the hand, come back to center. Rolling over onto the other side. Option with the foot. Awesome. Hand and foot find the mat. We're going to take a flow here. Lower yourself down. Upward facing dog. And back into our downward facing dog. Looking towards the top of your mat. Step or hop. We're going to do a couple of these sun salutation variations. So come halfway up. Lower down. Bending the knees generously. Circle the arms. Getting a little bit of heat into the body. Allowing ourselves to burn away what we don't need. Bring ourselves back to this moment. Inhale, arms sweep up. Folding forward, hands ground, step back. Side plank. Option with the leg. 3 breaths. Come on back to center. And then over to the other side. Building strength and character as Tapas teaches us through self-discipline. Come on back to center. Take a flow. Come on back into our downward facing dog. Taking a couple breaths here. Tapas, or self-discipline, reminds us to always question what we are practicing for. What kind of person do we want to be? How do we want to show up in this world? Looking towards the top of your mat. Be playful with it. I encourage you to hop. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, let go. Bending your knees, circle the arms, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Awesome. Hands circle all the way up. Exhale, fold forward, step back once again. This is the last one. Come on into your side plank. Come on back to center and over to the other side. Back to center, taking a flow. Downward facing dog. Drop the knees down. Keep the toes tucked under. Sitting back into a modified version of child's pose. If this is too intense on your feet, you can untuck the toes. This particular new moon reminds us that oftentimes in life it's worthwhile to slow down, do the thing right the first time, and avoid having to go back and fix the mess we made. I thought this teaching goes perfectly with our Niyamas of the week. For when we practice self-discipline and we become a person of strength and character, in complement to someone who is both content and showing up to each moment purely, we notice that we can cultivate the gift of doing things right the first time by being true to our word and authentic and bold in ourselves. We're going to roll forward into tabletop, untuck the toes, tap them out. Go ahead and sit back, drag the fingers in towards you. Go ahead and give yourself a big hug. Pausing here to grab your journal if it's not close by. I'll give you a second to do that. And from here, I want you to just take the next couple of minutes to dump whatever's on your mind into your journal. I want you to do this with the intention of absolutely no judgment, showing up with purity in this moment, and realizing that whatever you put on this page, just trusting that it's going to flow out of you. Just kind of a mind dump. So I want you to go ahead with that. I'll give you a couple prompting thoughts, but I'll leave it to you to just get in the flow and start writing. What is showing up for you right now? What thoughts come up when your mind is silent? How can you subtract any ideals, illusions, or expectations so that you can gather yourself, your whole self, to show up in this moment? I want you to write in your journal without any fear of perfection or punctuation or grammar. Just let the words that come up be there in this moment. I want you to take a moment with your journal and write down 3 things that you're grateful for. I want you now to write down 3 amazing things that happened to you today. And I know what you're thinking, Mel, I stayed in my apartment all day. I didn't go outside. It's lockdown. What's amazing? Well, maybe you got to drink your favorite tea. Maybe you got an unexpected message from a friend. Maybe the sky was blue when it was supposed to be raining. Maybe you got to sleep in a little bit longer than usual. Whatever you consider to be amazing, I want you to write 3 things down. For there is something amazing even in the hardest of days. And finally, I invite you to write down one thing that you love about yourself. It could be anything. And I encourage you to place down your pen when you're done and just join me in a seated position. Notice how you feel. Do you feel lighter? Do you feel more grateful? Thinking about how journaling and speaking into existence what you want can serve you in your life. As this is the new moon in Taurus, and as I mentioned, a very potent time for manifestation, I encourage you to stay with your journaling practice after today's class, or even speak out loud, utilizing our throat chakra to really speak into existence what it is that you desire. In the darkness of the new moon, I encourage you to move slowly and with intention. For the seeds being planted now will not bear fruit instantly. So we must trust in the darkness. We have to take this faithful free fall and trust that in time all is coming. Awesome. You're going to take those hands a couple inches behind your hips, lean back, allow your soles of the feet to ground, knees sway from side to side. My mat back, don't you? Awesome. And if your dog is not laying on your mat, I encourage you to reach your legs out long. Come on down onto your back. Go ahead and hug your knees in towards your chest, rock side to side. Grounding the left foot, keeping the right knee hugged in towards your chest. Now reaching that right foot up towards the sky. Flex and point the foot, maybe inviting a couple ankle rotations. And then bringing that knee in towards your chest, reach the left leg long. Coming into a spinal twist, supine twist. arms come out into a T shape. You can look over towards your right fingers. Again, twisting through our center, releasing any blockages, allowing our breath to flow up and down the spine. Come back to center. Hug both knees in towards you. Hug yourself like you mean it. Right foot grounds. Left knee hugs in. Give that leg a squeeze. And then reaching the left foot up to the sky. Flexing and pointing the toes. Maybe circling the ankle. And bringing that knee in towards your body. Right leg reaches out long. Twist over to the other side. Meet this moment as you are. Come on to your back. Hug both knees in towards your body. I invite you now to find your legs up the wall pose. So either lying on your back, maybe placing a block under your low back. You can stay with your legs reaching up towards the sky. This should feel effortless. If it does not, just finding a wall close by, placing your legs up against that wall, and allowing your lymphatic system to drain as your legs are propped up. This encourages a purification of the body and a boost in the immune system. And as you lie here with your legs up, I invite you to invoke this transformational fire within you to burn away any unwanted blockages and invite the Agni, as we call it in Ayurveda, or fire, into your system through the following mantra. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Breathing as you repeat this, either out loud or in your mind. Om as the universal syllable for union in yoga, collective consciousness through the chanting of Om. And Shanti meaning peace, peace, peace. Allowing this mantra to bring purity to our words, to our thoughts, and our bodies. invite you now to either stay here with your legs up the wall, or you can come onto your back into Shavasana, final resting pose. I invite you to stay as you are for as long as you can. Nourish yourself in this resting pose, acknowledging yourself for all that you are, everything you are in this moment. Send out love and gratitude to yourself. And stay with this mantra for the rest of the evening. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I am gifting back to you the next 8 or so minutes of your hour, and I encourage you to rest, reflect, and journal. I ask that you move slowly through the rest of your evening, that you treat yourself with kindness. I posted a new moon meditation in our Facebook group. I encourage you to watch that if you're feeling it. And from here, I will wish you a wonderful new moon cycle, a prosperous new moon in Taurus, and a wonderful rest of your week. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for joining me. It's an absolute joy and honor to guide you through your practice. Thank you.